Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for getting late. I just finished my previous class, so today we will still working on the system design. So just give me 5 minutes. So it for today's class, it's just like extension of like about the use case, like details of things. So I will talk about it. This one. So just wait for me for 5 minutes, and I will be back. Thank you for waiting. But I feel like I'm not really able to talk anymore. I try my best. I'm not working, but my voice, I'm losing voice.
Oh, okay.
So,
Even if you do like a presentation, it might affect the entire
I try. I do have it if you need help. I still not working. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. You can try to fix it, and okay, you can keep on working that. It's recording, but I'll just go through. But this one actually is like it's a kind of like extending about the use case, like go through the PowerPoint slides, and I'm recording it. So if you want, you can go back. You can make. Actually, I have my tomorrow schedule pretty full, but I can try to arrange the time, or like after the class, you can come. Like I can help you like fix it around like 15 minutes. Okay. After. Okay. Okay, I put it for. Or if you want, I can try to arrange. If I can make it like, if you want, I can try to make even like Saturday or like Monday, kind of like that. Yeah. Oh, okay, yes. I'm just giving a video time.
This is, I said, oh, yeah, you guys have to- we got data and everything.
I don't think I have.
Well, I did, it's like, where it's-
I don't know what it brings. So something bad's happening. Everything's, and then.
But did you find out the very same day you noticed?
It's crazy. It's not like action. It's like,
Okay, so I wish I can. Okay, okay. So I feel I'm losing my voice, but I I try my best, try to talk if no so for okay for this class we still I try to it's just extending the use case most like theory something so in the lab so I try to cover like based on what it talk about so we try to apply how can we really drawing it and then things extension but for today we just like mainly go through all this like PowerPoint stuff. Okay.
Does that microphone- why not have that group so much? If that works, that mic that's next to your.
No, I using my own computer. I just like
No, I'm
code.
saying, so you don't have to like speak as loudly and save your voice. I was wondering if that microphone.
The microphone.
Yeah.
Ah,
Literally that microphone.
using. But mainly I just like speaking whole day.
Yeah. I mean, it's-
Yeah, I keep on talking
it's
whole
gonna
day.
kill your voice.
Yeah, it's like because I talking like from this morning till now non-stop. So
But the microphone might make
May
it-
have
you
it.
don't have to speak as loudly.
yeah. I will see.
Just don't know whether.
Yeah, I need to like probably yeah, I will see. But if you can hear, then you can hear. Yeah, so it's good. So
You know, when you get-
oh no, it's good. I know. I know it's boring, but I just like go through.
I can be loud.
Don't worry. I think it's okay. I know. Well, I know actually for yeah, but thank you. I appreciate yeah because um well for these slides I know like three things and when I ask the question I no matter for assignment maybe for the like final exam something I'm not really asking you the definition. I hate definition. Yeah, because like you can refer to here. So like if you go back to the PowerPoint slides, then you can refer to it. Like I'm asking then you can refer to it. But
Everything. in exams are gonna be covered by-
yeah, lecture and more like in application, like when I ask you, please, like if I give you the situation, can you draw the use case? Can you draw the user diagram? So that one is more important. So that's why like, can you draw a correct, like can you give a correct relationship? If I ask you to draw the, this one is the kind of the extension too. If I ask you like, last time we talked about ER diagram, then we are allowed to have like the many-to-many relationship. You don't have to create extra like table. But if I ask you to draw a class diagram, then you need to like break down the many-to-many to create a new table. So if I ask you to draw a class diagram, but you still give me the many-to-many relationship, then I'll do that some point, just like this. Okay. Yeah. Also, I asked you to have use. Okay, yeah. So also for the use case, okay, last time we just like go back, like when we talk about use case, we using a verb noun. So we'll say, okay, for this use case, we need to create a user account, and then we have some description like, okay, how exactly doing. So this one is like kind of like reviewing we talked about in our previous slides. So it won't really complicated. And also in our question, like assignment for your project too, I'm not asking like you have to able to like provide full structure, like really in reality, the real application, because we just like try to put maybe several, maybe 4 or 6 tables. But of course, like for assignment would be just like we have short, like not enough time. But for your project, I asking maybe we need to working on like design a system, then you need to go through all the steps, do the documentation, then you have to like put more steps, like pick your own topic.
As far as our project goes, I have ADHD, so I'm literally medicated, but my attention just wanders off randomly when I'm trying to focus on stuff. What exactly are we doing for our project?
Okay, so this one is more like designing what you're learning is like for implementation. So design, okay, just like pick one actual case, like maybe you say I already discussed the Uber and the Spotify, so try not to pick these two. So you can pick any company they're doing. So the reason why I let you to do that, because you can easy to find the requirement and refer to. Yeah, because when you remember in the lab, I tried to discuss like okay, let's say I need to implement the Uber app. Then you know, okay, so we need to have a use case. Let's like this. I need to create the account, and then I need to store the profile, and then calling the app. Also, we have the driver, right? Driver also have another app, so create the driver app account, and then I need to have a function like also use case like how to set the search the route, right? Maybe a rider, and then somebody can pick up my order. And then how can I start my trips? Okay, when I finish the trip, so maybe I can put the review or I can give tips or these things. But the reason why I let you pick like in the reality, lots of apps, because you don't have to go through all the details, like making if you remember in our first 2 lectures, we talk about how to get the like questionnaire, get the requirements from user. It's impossible, really hard. But even you're really doing it, just make up your answer. So it's not so.
In this class, they clearly.
Pick design. So we have the ER diagram, use case diagram, class diagram. So mainly focus this one. Yeah, next they keep going. And yes, a good point. Actually a big one. Because I don't know like how's going for next semester. Like am I still like keep going? I don't know, because they are still designing. Okay, so okay, so the bean and they're talking, so I don't know. Okay. Just like better on this one. So just like on this one, first like for getting requirement is difficult, but refer to the reality that something is like executing, like working right now, you are easy to get what are the actual use case. You are easy to know. Like if you don't know, just download the app and try to click on it. So you will know. You'll figure out what actual use case. So you will see, and then we try to but for this class, then we need to know, okay, so we need to put the description. So, okay, so refer to the Uber, or say, this one is called the RSMO. It's that one is the retail store vendor, looks like it's a huge system. Or using my, in my lab session, I using Uber or the Spotify. So based them, like give some example, really simplify use case. But for assignment, I will use like really simple, only few sentences. But for this one, you need to really think about it. Let's say you really pick up the Spotify, then what are the possible the use case? Let's say I need to create a user account. Okay, so what are the scenario triggering? So what are the actors? So just refer to this table. Okay. You can refer to the example template. So you're not required to really memorize these things. So that's why I go through really quick. So you can just refer to this one and then put the names in scenario, what the events when you need to trigger. So what are the actor? So what are related use cases, or maybe the stakeholder, and then preconditions, post conditions. I'm not really jumping into all the details. You can refer to that just like for documentation, just like mentioned, follow this one. And also the flow of activity, let's say, but this one will affect your use case diagram. So let's say I have a actor, maybe actor indicate the desire to create a user account. So maybe, so you need to draw the, okay, I have the customer and then use case. And you still remember we have the boundary. So the rectangle boundary. So that one's the system. Okay. So for this system, what are we say the function they can use, like let's say create the account. So user can do that. Maybe also the system, maybe another actor is the admin. So admin also able to create the customer, right? So we have the create account. So verb none is for use case, and then verb two active. So if I give you this, then or like if you list the use case, then you should able to have a table of activities like this. Okay. But when we really drawing it, so just like recap, so verb none, scenario, trigger the event. So because when we are listing the use case for different possible actors, we have the duplicate use case, because like we say for customer, I can create a user account, and then for the admin also I can create a user account. So we have duplicate. But when we draw the use case diagram, then you need to know we are only have one like oval shape, and then only one you create user account and then pointing to it.
So remind me, which diagram is it?
The
Showing like inheritance from, okay, here's the user,
mhm.
user class or whatever, and then we show inheritance from customer and admin.
Yeah. So if you remember, so the use case diagram, if I say the people like this,
Yeah, it's like you draw a line.
okay,
each
so
one,
like this, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say we have the user, and then here's the admin, and then maybe create account, like this. Okay. Now when we are listing, like for the description details tables, we have duplicate. But when we draw it, we need to remove the duplicate and point it to the same one. Okay. Just you need to know. And here's they have a more like explanation for the stakeholder precondition, post condition, like this. Okay. So right here, precondition. No, okay, so they must be, their subsystem must be available, or like when they have a like credit debit authorization service must be available like this. Okay. And so we have more, and then also we have one called the includes. So if like for one use case, this one we need to recall back to the like two more PowerPoint slides before. So we have the include, right? If you remember, we under it. So we will have like include condition, and how can we add it? But here all the slides still like just like more details, like shipping item. This one is the example from the PowerPoint, the RSMO, that one. So we have that vendor, you know, the coin, they have a retail store, online, phone. So would be like this. So let's say I have one use case, I ship the items. So how can they ship for the new sales? How can we chase it? So for the documentation, just like you can, they say please provide the use case description, like full details, then you should able to follow this one and create a table and list all this. Okay. And just like repeating. So here is the UML activity diagram for use case. So you will see customer will request the account, and then system, and then we are pointing to it. So we put under system. So here, when they request, the system will create a custom account. Okay, when it goes back, it asks you, please input your address. So how we use, and then it goes back to the system. It's like create the address. So this one is more like the interface you're doing. Okay, I click on the button like sign up or create an account. So with the system itself, like, okay, so it's handling instead create account. And then there will be a field in the form. So it asks you, okay, input address, then create the address. And then it asks you to maybe ask you like, please input your credit card information. So you will create and then go down to verify the credit card information. If everything goes well, they return finish. So if I say, please draw the UML activity diagram for the use case, then you can do it in this way. So you can see the main code the use case, like the function will under the system. And on the customer side is what you see. Okay, then how can you say, oh, what should I put on this side? Just imagine it, okay, or like based on your daily life, you're using the system. Okay, so how do you interact with the website or app? Then say, okay, so let's say I have a button. This one you can say, if you mess up, say request account, maybe I call it sign up account, still okay. So this one will maybe like create an account. So the system will create for you. And then you say input address, maybe you say like input username, but we just like make it brief. We don't have to put all the details. We have so many. If the form is too long, you don't have to put all the details, like just like some brief content. Okay, I'm focused on one, maybe name, first name, address, something like this, and then we create. So this one is called a UML activity diagram for use case. And we have more, just like have an extension here. Okay, let's say for the shipping clerk and the system. So they want to look up the system. Okay, so when they look up, the system will display the information, right here. And then maybe, for that one, if a function, okay, I can assign the shipper, so I can click on it. So just think, okay, why I'm putting right here. So the user can maybe choose the shipper, then they can select it, then you can choose it, and then create a shipping link. To sales link, the shipper go here. Okay, so go back, you will see the option available. Okay, yes or no. So if we have a condition, just like put a diamond shape right here. And okay, if yes, okay, my as a shape, and no, just like maybe back order. Okay, go back. So based on the different condition, the system will, how do they handle it? If we already mark as a shape, then we will update the status. Or if no, then we need to maybe need to update it as an initialized back order. So maybe both of them will just like go back. Okay. Just like stop right here. So I will still, no matter which status, I merge them to like we still go back to the same endpoint. Okay, so we need to enter the package weight, size, request the shipping label. Okay, that's how we do it, like you see on the UI. And then after okay, the system we save it, then we can print the label, like that one we save it printing. So it's like more details is okay, condition. And also one is like fill the shopping cart. That means it's an online shop. Here's an example. Okay, so user will search it, and then we look for the products. And also we like select the options and quantity. Okay, if okay, then we can add to cart. So the system will add to cart. So save it, and then we go back. You maybe like search for other stuff like new accessory. Okay, it's other use case. If you remember the RMO, that one. So it's like the function, and then we can select it, add it. So also we can add to cart. From add to cart, we can still go back. So it's more like it pretty makes sense for this one. We can, after add the items to the cart, we can keep on shopping. There are you want to like keep on shopping or like go to cart. But when you view your cart, then but you can still go back to search more items, right? Yeah. So this one just a stop by filling the shopping cart. But if you want to fill up the checkout, then of course share it the same. And and then one we have called the like system sequence diagram SSD. So it's also it's a UML sequence diagram. So for this one is only show the actor and one object. So the one object represent the like the complete system, and we will show the input and output message requirements for use case. Let's say we have a system, so we like here and a message. It looks more stuff. Just need to know, but only for your report, like if you need to edit. But for the assignment, I don't require you to do this like that complicated. Okay, so we have the actor, we have the clerk. So the message right here, the actor will interact with the system. So it's here the message. And then we have action. Also, we have the system. So an object right here, we're underlined. So that represents automated system you need to do. And we have the input message. So like inquiry and then item. So this one more likely is the like think about the query of your database query. Most of the time we discuss in the RDMS, the relational database. So you just think, okay, what kind of ID we need to input? So we send to the system. And here we draw the line. You so okay, the sequence of message is going down. And then when we retrieve like after the inquiry, we select it and we return back to the client, the actor, right? The clerk. So we say, okay, item information. So we return it. So we just like keep drawing this. And then we will draw the piece and say what is included. Like the items that included will be the description, maybe price, quantity. So here's a piece of data. So what the item we're going to return back to it. Okay. So if based on you working on the website, like web development, you should have like much more clear idea like for this, like all this for the input message. So when you apply, when you through a website and then you try to I want to show the information. So I will connect to the database, like the one I'm using MongoDB, but maybe using the MySQL, we using a Slack, something from the tables, right? So here's the information. So we need to also return all those information. Just think, okay, when you select the table name, columns, everything will be provided here. Because when we implement the database, we will follow all this information. So we know, okay, so maybe we need to like select some attributes or column name, like column items, like return back to the user. Or sometimes for some like we need to have a like calculation, then also we need to do that. So we need to know all these things. And here we one more about the message is like with a loop frame. So here's a loop frame. Okay, test the condition. Okay, wait, okay. If I need to add the items, I will have an ID and then with the quantities. So I add it to the server and then I will return back. Okay, what's the description price, extended price? If I add one more item, then I will send it to the server again. Server after the server insert the new record and then I will return the value, comes back, right? So here will be loop until you stop inserting new item. So you just like putting in the loop. And like for this one, like is more detailed notation is like, okay, another item description price, extended price right here input. Just letting you know, but not require you to do in your assignment. Okay. And right here, like the message notation for SSD. So where you say, okay, return value, and here's the message name, and then we have the parameter, like true or false condition. And then if I asking, please provide, if I give you the chart like this, please provide the message notation for SSD, and just look at it. So refer to here. So what's the true or false condition? Okay. Let's say I have new items, yes, and then return value. What is the return value? We say refer to this one, description, price, and extended price. Then you draw it in this way. And then what's the message name? Okay, it's called the add item. And then parameter list is the ID and quantity. So we'll be right here. Just here for the information. And then we have some like optional frame. So optional frame is the else. So this one is more like if else. Okay, if we're doing like add the sales tax, location code, and then we return the sales tax details. If no, we will add the like tax exception code. So we maybe call it equal. Then what's the exception details? Okay, so we either execute this one or this one. So just need to tell, okay, maybe this one is optional. Then we just like put the corner OPDN. And if we have a if else condition, just think about when you implement, like writing a program, we have a if else case, right? So if else we'll be doing like this, only if condition will be like this. Okay. And just like go something really basic. We try to identify the input message. And also we try to display a message from the external actor, like still is the same like none, and then identify any special conditions and like any loops, like if condition. Okay, also we have the detail message. So it's the structure, remember, message, and then value, get value ID. So far, let's say if you need to draw the create custom account, then you need to same. Because this one is still like based on the use case diagram. So the use diagram, I have an actor, but this one is the system. So I use the just a rectangle underline. So it's the system itself. So I have a create, and then it's the line. So when I create a new customer, I pass to it, and then what kind of information I'm going to return back it. Customer ID, name, phone numbers, email. So you see pretty similar. Just like when you create a table, right here is okay, what kind of information you're going to input from the form. But for extra information, probably we just the customer ID. We're going to revert it to the customer. And for the detail, this one like address details, it goes to the function that one enter address, and also we have the credit card information, and then return the credit card information details. Because when you can, sometimes you see the check maybe called a payment bill or my save the payment method, something like this. When you see like paying bill, so you see your credit card information like this. Okay. Detail. Yes. Yeah. So we would validate. So just like refer to, sometimes you say I don't know the system or something, just like try to make sense, because actually we are using lots of system like daily. Of course, you may be not able to see some system behind for like administration or like something using for the internal purpose. But when we talk about some system like open to public or like you can see, then you should able to like put the information, just guess like what you see. And then add extra the field, because when we design the database, just think about, okay, when I design the database, what kind of attributes did I add? Then here are the things I'm going to return from the system. Okay. And it can help you to see, and then just keep going. And then for the loop, let's say I need to have more, when we talk about the loop right here. So one, the box right here. So we just label it with the loop. So if I have multiple items need to ship, so right here. And then if a condition, if you remember elder, so it's if or else. So for this one, if I have a regular shipping item, save it, and then I will return the shipping confirmation. If no, then I will initialize it. Okay, so here's that way then right here from table. And also we have the USA and the CRUD, the CRUD, the CRUD. So we have like create, read, report, update, delete. So just have a good like cross check against the existing set of use case. So just like using the database context, we can check it. When we validate, let's say we have customers, so we have like create, read, report, update, delete. So here's the actual the functional action you can able to do. Okay, verify use case. Check. Okay, I can create a customer account for what's read. We can looking for customer, or what's the report. So maybe we can produce, or we can generate the usage report update. So we can adjust the account or like update the user customer account information, like data, the profile. Okay, delete, remove the record. But you can see right here to archive, because even though we say delete, or when we implement the database, sometimes we mention delete, we are not really delete account. So we should know, like right now you will know, okay, even though you create an account from certain website, or like if you want to, let's say social media, they didn't really delete your account, like they didn't really remove your all the information. They just like put it to archive, or like we create a table called a deleted account. And then you just like move from active account to deleted account.
They still have.
Yeah, it's just like correct. Yeah. So sometimes if you want to restore, yeah. So and then they keep oral record. So that's like if you learn the system design or like knowing this, okay, so you know more about how the in reality, like they are not, when I teach database, you did learn like keyword called a job table, right? So, but in reality, we never use job table unless for testing or development, you would did it. But for really in the production, then we never use that one, because for company we never want to remove any customer information. Even you don't use it, you can sell it. Okay.
Well,
So,
yeah, and then different companies
Mhm.
find later. Sell like that. So you're gonna keep doing it. It just becomes the cost.
So actually they're still selling. Actually, in reality, they always selling your personal information to other third party. They're buying for it. So okay, I try my best to cover. So for the analysis step, so we can try to just like analyze all the domain classes. And for each class, we need to like just like create a new instance. Maybe we need to update it, read, report, remember, delete it. And then maybe if we figure out something, we have new use case, need to just add it. And then just like the table we have before. So just go through and then think about, okay, if I new use case, then just do a new use case, like what are the actor, system, stakeholder. So put all this information again and then just add the new one. So you can draw your own for it. It's like this exercise. So here's the called the sample, is the group matrix. So for the use case right here, or say domain class. So we have so many names for it. So but still is the use case, like create the customer account. So customer create. And then we have the look up customer. So it's really, and then produce the customer usage and then same, and then the process. So just putting all this, maybe you have like who can do that, taking action. So if put this similar idea, if you know the like on that we execute the file, something like that. So based on the action, so maybe they can create it, they can read it, are they going to update it or delete it? So just refer to all this action you're going to do. So CURD. So you can do it this way. Just keep extending. So right here for the use case, we need to put the like description, activity diagram, and also we have, you will learn one more thing we call the SSD. So need to remember when we say for the use diagram, please look at this SSD. Then what's the SSD? You need to remember. So the SSD will be like all these like details. So we need to have a flow, and all this flow is like what kind of input, what's the return, and then if we have some loops, just like follow this one. If I asking use case SSD, okay. If I only say just draw the use case, that one. If I say use case with SSD, then you should like able to draw this one more detailed. Okay. But because we learn it, maybe try to have one or two questions, maybe, but I don't like, it's time consuming and too much things. So also maybe I will give you maybe some metrics in this. Okay. And domain class. So for this one, like state machine. So this one like state, maybe what's the class diagram right here, and then maybe for under this case, I will have that I use case the description, maybe I have some activity diagram or the SSD. So that's how the integrate all everything putting together. So far will be here. So we will talk about use case, mainly also the domain class diagram. If you forgot, it will be the here. Let me go back. 3:59:2. Okay. So right here, we say the domain class, like the customer, so it's pretty similar to our database table. We'll show all the contents, and like when we put some association like example here, we have exactly like details. So you say here's an action, So if you know during the class diagram, you put a verb, then it's really similar, but this one is just like actual example. So we call it association. And catenative or the multiplicity. So it's the same. It's like the one I mentioned like during the diagram. So that one to many. So what's the minimum and maximum? So I recommend the format always like put the dot dot dot. Like what's the minimum and minimum. And for the relationship, it's just like kind of like recalling the memory, like when you learn about database like design. So we have the binary, unary, ternary, like n array. So it's the same. So that one's doing so this all we going to recall for the knowledge, and that's it for today's class. Yeah, thank you. I thank you. Yeah, I got some more. Yes. We also finished kind of the time. Yes. Thank you so much. Starting late.